Here I've actually got some things that I need to consider when I'm doing the installation. And what we're at is the disk partitioning state. And what it's asking me here is whether I want to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. In this case, I've got a blank disk. That's exactly what I want to do. I actually have the ability to encrypt the installation, so I've got encrypted files on the hard drive. And I could also use Logical Volume Manager, and I'm actually going to turn that on. Logical Volume Manager actually gives me the ability to have additional drives where I can add those drives into a logical volume and create a volume that's bigger. So basically, with Logical Volume Manager, I can keep adding hard drives, or in this case, virtual drives if I wanted to. I could add virtual drives to the system, and I would create one large logical volume out of that, rather than being limited to just the size of my physical disk. If I were working on a real system, I could install multiple physical disks, use Logical Volume Manager, and create one large logical disk out of those multiple physical disks. So I'm just going to say I'm going to use Logical Volume Manager, and I'm going to erase the disk and install Ubuntu, and now I'm just going to click Install Now. At this point, it's going to go and install the various packages once we've gone through a couple of other things. It's asking me where I am. I'm just going to select the Eastern Time Zone, and we should have a couple of other questions here based on the status down here. And it's asking me about my keyboard layout, so I'm going to say that's English. I don't use a fancy keyboard layout like Dvorak, for example. And now it's asking me about a username. So before we actually go install the software, it wants me to set up a user account. And I'm actually going to talk about user accounts and how that works coming up next.